Okay, joining us from Baylor is head coach Kim Mulkey is coming up, and our student athletes are Destiny Williams and Brittany Griner. We'll follow the same format. We'll give the coach an opportunity to make an opening statement, and then we'll have questions for our student athletes.
I don't have an opening statement. I think it'd be faster just to ask these guys and then me, and we'll get y'all to home
Okay,
eat.
who wants to start off with questions for our student athletes?
Brittany, coach has said that, that last group, the one that wears the gold shirts in practice, they're kind of the unsung heroes. Was it fun to see them play as many minutes as they did today? And of course, Lindsey Palmer's 3.
Definitely. Lindsay's 3 was amazing, by the way. We were very excited, and but it's good to see them out there. Don't like to call them gold shirts really, but they fight so hard in practice every day against us, and we both get better, and it shows.
Who's next?
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Destiny, can you just talk about the way you guys started out? I mean, how key was that to just get off to a good start and kind of put the game out of reach early?
We've been waiting for this game for the longest. We had a bunch of days in practice, going hard, and we wanted to release it on another team, and so I thought that we did a great job at starting strong, knocking down every shot, taking our time, like we've been practicing, and I thought that we finished the game just as the way we started, so it was a good win for us.
Let's go here first.
Brittany, over here. Wendell Barnhouse, BigToeSports.com. Can you remember the last time you may have watched that much of a game instead of playing in it?
Not really. I couldn't even tell you, but I definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely fun. I liked it.
Destiny, you talked this week about just the effort in practice defensively. You guys forced 7 shot clock violations today, 5 in the first half. I mean, is that almost as good a feeling as scoring sometimes?
I think it's better. It's all a team effort. We played for 30 seconds, and we got shot clock violations. It gave us the energy to come down and make a great decision offensively. I thought that during practice, we did put a lot of emphasis on our defense, because our defense helped us towards our offense. We like to intimidate with our defense. I thought that we did a tremendous job with that.
Brittany, I would guess you would be the one that would go against SUNY in practice, or would it be Destiny?
Me.
Can you talk about where she's gotten better, how she's improved, just going against you all the time?
Just slowing down, taking her time. She's come a long way in practice, and we're still working with her, and can't wait for this summer to work with her even more.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much. You can head back to the locker room.
Y'all did good.
And who wants to kick it off with the coach? Start right here.
Kim mentioned the shot clock violations. How proud of the defensive effort were you today?
Well, you're always proud when you can get shot clock violations, but I was especially proud today because they obviously run an offense that keeps teams on defense for 30 seconds. Because if you look at the scores of their games, that must be their philosophy offensively, is to really milk it, and then the last 10 seconds where you probably have a lot of breakdowns in your defense. And I just thought our kids played the full shot clock on the defensive end of the floor, and it excites them. I was especially proud that everybody got to play about 20 minutes each today, and we didn't really lose a lead. We extended everything that we did, and when I say extended, we extended the score, and sometimes that doesn't happen.
Kim, you usually like to leave your starters out there longer. Was there any reluctance in getting the subs in and getting the starters on the bench that early?
Well, Jerry, I don't like to. I think the other team dictates that. She pulled her 5, and if she pulls them, I'm respectful of her in the game. I'm going to pull my 5. What happens is people, start pressing you, and they think they can cut into the lead. Well, you keep your starters out there. If every coach I played did what she did today, I'd pull them. But they don't do that. And so she did rotate starters back in a couple of times, but I just felt that there was no need to go back with our rotation of our top 6 players.
Coach, do you feel like there's anything quantifiable about the amount of rest that the kids were able to get, the starters? Is that a good thing for the next couple of nights?
I think the more rest you can get, the better, but make sure you get them enough minutes not to get out of rhythm. And I thought our kids worked up a sweat. I thought they did some good stuff. We didn't have to show a lot of stuff and get them off the floor. And we've actually done that a lot of late, even in the Big 12 tournament. Maybe not as much rest as we did today, but we've been able to gauge practice and gauge these last couple of weeks of basketball games and get kids off the floor.
Coach, speaking of the starters, what was the thought process today on Odyssey not starting?
Just a coach's decision. Just my simple thought process. No. It's a very minor thing, but I'm from the old school, and you do things right. She knows why she didn't start. It's really not a big deal. Most coaches would look the other way, but it's all about teaching kids lessons.
That was actually my question, but I've got another one. Lindsay's 3, I mean, do you just smile when you see that?
That's when you're living right. Shot clock was winding down, 2, 1, and she got her a good look at it, and you're just happy for her. The team is happy for her. I think, that's probably going to make Sports Center, huh? Won't be Brittany Griner on Baylor's team. It'll be Lindsey Palmer. Good for her.
Let's go right here first.
Kim, Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com. In addition to shot clock violations, I think I had you guys giving up baskets on consecutive possessions just 3 times. I mean, it was, just pretty dominant defensively. Could you just talk about the whole 40-minute, even with the reserves in there? And also, you make sure they didn't get off to any kind of a good start to give them any hope at all.
Wendell, championships are won on the defensive end of the floor. Championships are won with guard play. And I thought that our guard play was especially effective on the defensive end with being active, being in passing lanes, being very aggressive. Now, when you do that, sometimes you tend to gamble, and we did, and we've got to make sure we stay disciplined because they got to the paint some on us, and you just don't want them to have dribble penetration. Yes, it was a game that we pretty much dominated, but there are 2 or 3 things I can tell you right now that we didn't do well. We let them score at the end of the half. And you talk about that. If it's a tie ball game, you want the last shot. There were a couple of times where fatigue set in the second half with the group that was on the floor, and we did give up an offensive board, and they got, another look at it. But we won't go back and look at this film. We'll go on and start studying Florida tonight. We've already studied Florida, but you have to keep coaching them. You can't make them always think they just had a perfect game today. Just splice different situations and don't look at the score and keep teaching them. Yeah, Florida is very good. Florida is very athletic. Florida is very physical. I thought that Florida came out ready to play. And when you can come to an environment and basically you're playing a road game, because I didn't see a whole lot of other colors in that gym other than red, that tells you how good Florida is. And we will get in that film room tonight and get on the floor some tomorrow and expect a very good basketball game Tuesday.
Kim, same question I guess I asked Brittany. I mean, Suni, do you see signs that she's starting to develop? I mean,
Suni has, 11 points in 12 minutes. The biggest stat, and I told her this after the game, the biggest stat that impresses me is she didn't foul. Suni has a tendency to not move her feet, as a lot of freshmen do, and when they get beat because of not being in position defensively, they foul. And she didn't have a foul tonight, and I just praised her for that. And I thought Ashley Field was a great team player. She's a post player, but because I didn't want to put the guys back in the game, I moved her to the 3, and she gets you 6 rebounds from the 3. And I get to coach a bunch of kids that are all on the same page. They want to win a national championship, and whatever role they are asked to play, they do it. And not many coaches get to do that. In this business, it can sometimes be selfish. And I don't have a selfish kid in that locker room, and that makes my job a lot easier.
Let's go up here.
Going back to that point you made earlier about the crowd here, how nice is it knowing that now you don't have to face a pro Ohio State crowd coming up and you can just have neutral versus neutral?
I don't know. You know, we led the country in attendance on the road. Somebody told me like almost 8,000 a game have seen us play when we take road trips. I don't know that that plays a factor in affecting us. Now, it may help the home team play better, but once you've been on the road in hostile environments and you realize they're not for you, you have a tendency to tune them out. But if you're at home and it's your home crowd, they may boost you a little bit. I hope they come back. I hope they love women's basketball enough that they will come back. And if they don't come back, I know when I went to get my hair done today and was at the convenience store, there are a lot of people that would love to bought tickets but couldn't get in here. So they need to either sell those tickets or give them to somebody, because there are a lot of people that would love to see Brittany Griner play. And we don't get up in this part of the country very often, and I think it's going to be an outstanding basketball game.
Kim, just to follow up, you've already discussed this, but it wasn't even 4 minutes into the second half when Coach Mitchell did the full sub. Did that surprise you at the time?
Maybe so, or maybe I should answer it this way. I don't follow her team enough to know if that's what she does or not. The surprise may have been how early she substituted maybe, but I felt like she was sending a message to me, and what goes around in this business comes around. And I just felt like she subbed all 5. I'm going to sub all 5. And of course, now she came back and brought her starters back in there, but there was no need for me to bring our kids back on the floor.
Okay, we are out of time, but Coach Mulkey, is there any final thoughts, anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.